and welcome back to my channel. Today I grabbed the Garnet palette. This is part of BH Cosmetics' Birthstone series. This is January, and I actually followed a tutorial from one of my favorite YouTubers, Angelica Nyqvist, so I will link her down below, and throughout the tutorial I will place little inset pictures of her process. But I just wanted to follow her tutorial and see how the look came out, so I give her full credit for this beautiful eye look. And if you want to see how I did it, then you can either check out her video, and she also paired it with the Amethyst palette, which I think was February, or you can stick around and watch me do it. If you haven't been here before, hello, my name is Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. You can probably hear my baby playing in the background. And I just really love to play with colorful eyeshadow. I don't really know that much about makeup, but for me it's all about the eyes. So if you like that sort of thing and would like to see more, then please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram at Shimmers and Silver. So let's get right into that tutorial. As usual, I am starting off by priming my eyes using the NYX primer in white. This palette has a little mirror in it, and so I'll probably be using that for the look. I don't have any contacts, so hopefully I don't pull it so close that you can't see me. Wow, I put a lot on my brush right here. Okay, with a medium dense blending brush, I'm going into the red shade here, the red matte. It's called Go Getter. And I'm going to start that in my outer corner and blend it through my crease a little bit. Angelica Nyqvist is one of my favorite YouTubers. I love her personality, I love her creativity with color. She always inspires me to just go for it when it comes to dipping really heavy into a shade or matching up colors that I wouldn't necessarily think of right away. And she's just, like, one of the first tutorials I followed from her when I actually had the palette in my hand was the Passion in Paris palette from BH Cosmetics. And what she did was she put down like a reddish base, raspberry red sort of base, and then she dipped into it like a shimmery purple color almost. And I never would have put those two together, but when she did, it just looked great. So she's always inspiring me to be more creative with my color combos and step out of my comfort zone a bit. And I appreciate that. I'm dipping back into the shade now and then just to make this red a little bit darker. I don't think Angie does this step, but I'm going to take a medium blending brush and dip into Sensitive right here. And I'm just going to use that just to blend out this edge right here. With a little smudger brush, I'm dipping into Go Getter still, and I'm dragging that down my lower lash line, all the way in. Alright, now with a slightly smaller and fluffier blending brush, I'm going into Works It, the dark brown. Put this on her outer corner, and then wrapped it down to the lower lash line, but she kept it on the outer edge. I very much share an aesthetic with Angie. We have like the same style in eyeshadow. And then back into that blending brush, I'm just, instead of dragging now because I don't want the brown to move this way, I'm just sort of pushing to blend out just that little area. With the smudger brush, I'm dragging that in the outer corner of the lower lash line. This is a nice red eyeshadow. This is actually one of the biggest reasons I bought this palette, was on Angela's recommendation, and because I like red and I didn't have any red. And each time I want to do something with red, I end up grabbing the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and the red in that palette isn't truly red, it's very orange, which is fine if you want a more orangey look, but if I want a red look, I don't want orange. And up until now, it wasn't an option. I only had the orange. I'm going into what I think Angie used. A small blending brush, dipping into Works It, the dark brown. I just want to concentrate that a little bit more. I should have used this in the beginning, but I didn't. It's okay, it still looks fine. The difference is that using a bigger brush adds brown further out. So I think what I'm going to do is take go back into the red because I want a little more red on the outside. There's one brush that uses which I do not have, and it's a smaller, fluffy, like medium fluffy blending brush. It's kind of like this stiffness. This is an e.l.f. detail crease brush. It's not super fluffy, but it's also not as stiff as a pencil brush, for example, like this one. It's not as stiff as that. I don't have that brush, and she uses that brush all the time for her deepening color in the outer corner. Back to that original fluffy blending brush and the color Go Getter, the middle matte red. I'm just placing that out here. And then my blending brush, I'm pushing to soften. Okay, moving on. It's time for shimmer, a flat C brush. I'm going into Garnet. I'm going to dip into the pan and then spray the brush. I'm going to place this on the center of my lid and work it out towards the brown, because we're going to use a little light shimmer on the inner lid. This is a lovely raspberry color. According to Angela, who reviewed all of the palettes, all 12 of the Birthstone palettes, she said that this shimmer shade, this Garnet, is the same exact shade as the Ruby shimmer shade, which is July's Birthstone. And when she showed swatches, I mean, they looked the same. And because this palette had more contrast than the Ruby palette, I bought this palette instead. But the reason I say that is because when I always thought Ruby was like the deep red. My mom and sister's birthstone is Ruby, and my mom always had these dark red earrings. But when I go into jewelry stores nowadays, it's the Garnet that's really dark red, and the Ruby is more of a pinky red, very much like this shade. So this one, to me, totally makes sense that it would be in the Ruby palette, but I would expect a darker red shimmer for Garnet. But it's a $9 palette, and I think I got it for $4.50 at the Black Friday sale, so I'm just not complaining. I'm just commenting. Now with the same brush, I'm dipping into Productive AF, and I'm gonna dip and then spray. Place that on my inner corner. And use this to do a faux cut crease. In other words, acting like I have a cut crease without doing the work of cutting it with a concealer. And that will just blend into the red shimmer. Oh yeah, so I don't know if you can see on the camera, but this side is definitely more white. This side is more pink. So I'm gonna finish this side and then clean up my brush again, go back into the white, and clean up or brighten up the other side. I was gonna say this palette, for my eyeshadow aesthetic, it doesn't have too many options because I always do a wash and then dark and then light shimmer. But I like the look. I think it's pretty. I like the shade options, and truthfully, I could do a halo eye or something to change it up a bit. But that white shimmer is a nice contrast. Wow, there is a huge difference when I cleaned off my brush. Huge difference. So I'm cleaning off my brush again. Going back into the white shimmer, Productive, and I will spray it again. And lay it over this side because I want this, I want it to be white. Not pink. That's better. You take a brush that has red on it and dip it into white, you're gonna get pink. Duh. It passed through my mind briefly before I dipped in, and I didn't think it would matter that much because I was blending the red and the pink right here, but of course it matters. Of course it matters, Rachel, don't be silly. Of course it matters. With the other side of my brush, I'm going back into the Garnet shade, Just gently tapping back and forth on the seam lines between the two colors. And, ooh, I forgot to notice what she did in her waterline. I think she did white in her waterline. I think she did white. And I happen to have a white, which is quite broken. Ah! It was in the cover. Lovely. I have a white. I happen to have a white. So I'll drag that on my lower lash line. Oh wait. Pencil brush, dipping into Productive, the white shimmer, and I will spray it. This will be my inner corner highlight, which I kind of did when I did the lid, but I want it to be a lot more, oh, that's pretty. And then drag it down to meet the red on the lower lash line. That is a great inner corner highlight. Fantastic. Oh, it's blinding. Oh, that's such a good inner corner highlight. This is really pretty and I like it. I like it. I think it's really nice. Very happy with this palette. Okay, I'm gonna clean up a bit and I'll put on some mascara and just finish up basically, and then I'll be back. All right, and here is the final product. I put on some black eyeliner above my upper lash line, but I did not wing it out. And then some basic face products and some mascara and setting spray. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun following Angie's tutorial. Again, I highly, highly recommend her videos. She is linked down below if you just want to check out her channel. She's got all kinds of content and she's got a really fun, vibrant personality. So definitely check her out. Don't forget that you can follow and subscribe to my channel as well if you like my content, and find me on Instagram at Shimmers and Silver. So I hope you have a really fantastic day and I will see you again next time. Bye. It's kind of like this consistency or consistency. Her out and don't remember. Does that make any sense? I don't think that makes sense. I now have red eyeshadow, but I didn't before.